Oh, you think you know Meghan Markle, the glamorous Duchess, the Hollywood sweetheart turned royal rebel? Well, buckle up, because there's a part of her story that the world was never supposed to hear. A night buried so deep under silence and money that even whispers were in her place was a woman who had learned that truth is just a story people agree on. And oh, did she learn to tell a story? The sparkly new version of Meghan. When Meghan began talking about her academic life again, everything sounded a little too perfect, too polished. She told people she'd graduated with 2 majors, theater and international relations. She painted this picture of being this brilliant global thinker, part diplomat, part actress. She even claimed she'd worked at the U.S. Embassy in Argentina, learning fluent Spanish in just 5 weeks. It was the kind of story that sparkled, shiny, effortless, and inspiring. You could almost hear the applause, but then came the whispers again. Wait, people said, Northwestern doesn't even offer that dual degree. The embassy internship? It was real, but the tasks were more filing papers and answering phones than mingling with diplomats. And as for the Spanish fluency, experts said it was impossible to achieve that level in just a few weeks. Little cracks started showing in Meghan's fairy tale resume. But she didn't flinch. She smiled right through it, because that's what she did best. Make people believe the version of her that she wanted them to see. The graduation photos that didn't add up. And then came those famous photos. The ones she showed as proof of her graduation. But look closer. The gown wasn't Northwestern's signature purple and black. The setting didn't match any campus landmark. No classmates in sight. Just Meghan, standing alone, smiling like the world hadn't just rewritten her story. It didn't feel authentic. It felt staged. But who would dare question her? She was confident, composed, and charming. Questioning Meghan's story made you look like the bad guy. Jealous, petty, or cruel. And that's how her illusion grew stronger. You see, the best lies don't hide in the shadows. They shine so brightly that people don't want to look away. The power of the illusion. Piece by piece, Meghan constructed a version of herself so flawless that it became almost untouchable. She was no longer the girl with the scandal. She was a woman with a mission. Her story wasn't messy anymore. It was cinematic. A tale of ambition, beauty, and brains. She'd reinvented herself so completely that even her past started believing it. Years later, when Meghan married into the royal family, that story, her story, became official. When her royal biography was published, it listed every shining detail she'd ever claimed. The dual degree, the embassy work, the Spanish fluency, the global education, every part of the narrative she'd built herself. And the best part, the British monarchy itself, the most powerful tradition-bound institution in the world, printed it as fact. No one questioned a thing. Why would they? She was everything the palace wanted to show the world. A modern, educated, inspiring woman, a global citizen, a feminist. They didn't see the cracks, they didn't want to. And just like that, the girl who once caused chaos in a sorority house had rewritten her entire life story. And the world was eating it up. When a lie becomes royal for years, her royal bio stood as gospel truth. Schools used it as a model of empowerment. Magazines reprinted it. Fans defended it like scripture. Meghan Markle wasn't just an actress anymore. She was a symbol. But behind palace walls, the whispers had already started again. Because when a story is built on illusion, the smallest truth can cause an earthquake. And then it happened, quietly. No headlines, no royal announcement, just a small, subtle edit. One day, Buckingham Palace's official website changed. Those glowing lines about her dual degree, gone, vanished. No explanation, no apology, no press release. It was as if they'd never existed. But people noticed. Journalists compared the old bio with the new one, and the difference was undeniable. The palace had silently erased her story, and when Northwestern University was asked to confirm her academic claims, their response was simple. That dual degree never existed. No further comment, no defense, just truth. The silence that screams. It wasn't just a correction, it was a confession. The kind that doesn't need words. Because when powerful institutions like Buckingham Palace quietly delete something, it means one thing. They know the truth has finally caught up. And that's exactly what happened. For years, Meghan had lived by a single rule. Control the story, and you control the truth. But that quiet change on the palace website was the first crack in her empire of illusion. From the college prank to the palace bio, the pattern was always the same. Something messy happens, it gets cleaned up, rewritten, and replaced with something prettier. But this time, there was no one left to clean it up. The price of perfection. That's the thing about building a life on reinvention. Eventually, reality catches up. All it took was one missing record, one old transcript, one unanswered question, and the fairy tale started to crumble. Because lies can travel the world, but truth always arrives, even if it's decades late. Meghan Markle had built one of the most convincing personal myths of modern times. She learned that silence can hide anything, that charm can buy time, and that the right story can rewrite a past. But when the silence broke, so did the spell. The fairy tale began to look less like destiny and more like design, the final twist. And so the story that began in a college dorm room with one prank gone horribly wrong ended inside Buckingham Palace with a quiet digital deletion. The same silence, the same cover-ups, the same pattern. Because you can bury the past, but not forever. The truth waits, it lingers, it whispers, and when it finally arrives, it doesn't knock politely, it tears down the door. In the end, it wasn't an interview or a scandal that exposed her. It wasn't a headline or a betrayal. It was something so small, so ordinary as a missing degree. The kind of thing you can't charm your way out of. The kind of thing that doesn't lie. And that's the real twist. The woman who learned to control the story was finally undone by the one story she couldn't rewrite. Epilogue. The lesson. Beneath the glitter. For Meghan, the lesson came too late. You can spend a lifetime mastering reinvention, polishing your image, and controlling every word. But the truth doesn't fade. It just waits for its moment. And when it comes, it doesn't whisper anymore. It roars. So yes, Meghan Markle's rise was dazzling. It was cinematic, magnetic, and meticulously crafted. But behind the glamour and the fairy tale smiles was a single missing semester, a secret from 1998 that never truly went away. Because no matter how far lies travel, truth always finds its way home.